Chatter and scribble, my pencils in hand as we draw. We chat, it's a wonderland. Colors collide, imagination so grand. Travel, draw, and let's take a stand. Thoughts come alive, flowing through the pen. With every stroke, we create, we mend. The conversations plan. A bond we defend, dream on, draw us to it again. Then the art we share as we draw, we connect the love affair. Sketching dreams without a single care. Drive over the tether, heavy share. As we draw, we connect the land. A love affair, sketching dreams without a single care. Travel, draw together we dare. Chatter and scribble, my pencils in hand as we draw. We chat, it's a wonderland. Colors collide, imagination so grand. Travel, draw, and let's take a stand. Thoughts come alive, flowing through the pen.
And we are live! Hi, welcome everybody joining in tonight. Tonight, we're going to be touching on a bit of the recent events. Just a bit. We're not going to go into politics of it. We're just going to be breaking this down. Is the photo a historic event? Yes. If people want to talk about the assassination attempt, yeah, we'll talk about it. What I will not talk about is people that want to say it's fake. Those who say it's fake, you can go elsewhere. Sorry, I don't care. It's real. It's a real event. Somebody lost their life. 2 other people have severe injuries. And Trump is scarred, despite what people on Twitter say. Ironically, this is the one stream that OBS decided to crash on Twitter, ironically. So, this is not going to be aired on Twitter for a change because, well, Twitter broke. Well, Streamlabs broke and Twitter was involved, so. But we're going to be drawing some pages of which we're going to be talking about. We're going to look at, the main reason I wanted to do this, when the photo was taken, let's pull up.
Third base here. So when this photo was taken, damn it. Why am I hearing an echo? Okay. Oh no, wait, no, I know why. Properties. Microphone.
Not the device. There we go. All right. So, when this photo aired, well, not aired. When the event occurred and this photo was taken, there is no doubt this is a historical moment. The doubt is, a lot of people have started saying from the moment it dropped, this photo dropped, that there's a Pulitzer Prize right there. It's possible, but I do have to say there are outside factors. Mainly the Pulitzer Prize Committee. I have no doubt it'll be nominated. It will be nominated. I have doubt that the Pulitzer Committee will let it win. Should it win? Absolutely. Absolutely. because it is a moment in history of that encompasses strength when dire situations occur. I mean, that is the living embodiment of the Trump photo. I mean, it is raw, and that's what you want in art and photo. You want a very raw scene to really hit people. And this was from Washington Post photographer. I don't have the guy's name or girl's name. Well, it was a guy. It was a guy. At least they looked like a guy. They took the photo. But the dude was running about when the shots were getting fired to get the shot. Dude, the man's got balls and must be, a war photographer at some point. Because, dude, I don't even know. I know I have all of the photos lined up from Pulitzer Prize that we'll cover. But I know there's one photo from the recent Iraqi war and Afghanistan war of a photographer who photographed his own death. I don't know if that's a Pulitzer Prize winner or not. It's an amazing photo because basically he photographed the guy who was about to shoot him. And it's insane. And I do have to state, with tonight's photos, there are going to be very traumatic photos. Some of dead bodies, some of people dying, and some of people before they die. Because this is the Pulitzer, folks. It has to be a very good story behind the photo and a very good photo. And we're only looking at photographs. We're not, screw reporting, screw any other Pulitzer Prize right now. This is not about any other thing other than this one photograph. Will it be the Pulitzer Prize winner? I say I doubt it. Does it deserve it? Hell yes. But, like I said, the Pulitzer Committee, they don't like Trump. They've made themselves known they don't like Trump. So, I would not be surprised if they would not pass this one over. So, but yeah, it's been an eventful week. For those wondering, there is going to be another week delay on Witchin' and Demon Blade. I'm just now dropping pages of both, but Witchin', I was behind so many pages on Witchin' while I got several pages of Demon Blade done, and I'm going to get more done this weekend. The problem was this past weekend, while it was my birthday and I didn't stream past Friday, the assassination occurred at my birthday dinner. I was watching that while with my family because my parents are huge Trump fans. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna watch the rally as we eat." And it's like, great. This moment happens. So dinner was all about not the birthday girl, but yeah, whether or not Trump was okay and whether or not who shot. We even talked about, because, we're talking like the moments that occurred. We were talking about, it was like, my stepfather was like, "Oh, well, clearly it was somebody in the crowd with a pistol." It's like, no, No. Secret Service was bad at this, you know, situation. They weren't that bad. We did not get a Reagan getting Hinckley right up on him and shooting him with a pistol moment. Okay, we I knew that was a rifle from the moment, and that it had to come from somewhere. I saw the buildings in the distance when they were doing the thing. It's like, it's got to be a building. It's got to be a building. Uh so yeah. I watched it live, and yeah, my birthday is gonna be a memorable one from now on. My 46th birthday is gonna be a day of infamy. Yay. um, I it's another one of those days where I can say I know exactly where I was. I did a stream before when we did what was it, the 9/11 20th anniversary in 2021. We did that anniversary. We did a stream on that. This is basically like me reliving 9/11 and the Challenger. I was also live with the Challenger. Technically, I was live with Reagan, but Reagan wasn't live on television when he got shot. Trump was. It's not as traumatic, I would say, as 9/11, having lived through that and watched that. I was literally shopping for my first apartment when 9/11 occurred. I could tell you that apartment that I did not get, how it was laid out when it occurred, because it's like burned into my memory. I don't remember much about the Challenger, other than school was determined for us to watch it because, of course, it was a teacher going into space. And I remember it's like it was flying, and then the explosion, and the teachers immediately turned the TV off, and it was dismissed. I mean, everybody was sent back to the classrooms, and we would be sent home not too long after that because, and this was a thing nationally, folks, the schools showed children the explosion of the space shuttle. I mean, it's, talk about trauma. It's like, up until that point, everybody was like, I want to be an astronaut. And then they saw that, and it's like, no. I do not want to be an astronaut. No. They can die? Yes, they can die. Sadly, we've lost astronauts since, and of course before. It's a tragedy. I mean, sadly, when an event nationally occurs, or internationally occurs, that is so memorable, there's something like in your brain that clicks, and it just like, it's like a gluey adhesive to your memory that you will forever remember little elements and pieces of that day. I remember going into what would be my first apartment complex. I have to say complex because the apartment they showed me was the apartment below me. Because they're like, oh, well, that one's not ready. Here's this one. I was like, well, can I get this one? And I'm like, no. But we literally went to go see that apartment at like 4:30 in the afternoon on September 11th. There was no one on the street. I mean, we drove there was maybe like a car here and there in a city, a metropolis. And it was just mind numbing how vacant and devastating. And I tried to write it in 11 Kingdoms because in 11 Kingdoms, chapter 4, I destroy San Francisco. I have the big one hit, and the way I describe it, it's like liquefying the buildings because it's like a 9.7 earthquake, which is unbelievable. It's beyond measurement, and it literally would. It would turn rock into basic liquid uh, for the structure of buildings, and the city is just ultimately destroyed. Why do I do it in the book? Because I needed something to create a villain. And that's exactly what happens. The villain is born out of this devastation. So, yeah, I mean, just pure. And I mean, we see it through the main character's stories. She's basically saying, you know, she's in DC because the office that she's working in is more in Crystal City part of DC, which is on the Virginia side, a little bit after Pentagon going down south. Not too far from, I think, Reagan International Airport. But yeah, so the complex is in there, and I go in through the descriptions of the few survivors that are seen on this drone footage that the company shows the people because their main headquarters is in San Francisco, and it is just, you know, I took 9/11 and ramped it up to 20. Not even 10. We had to go beyond 10. It had to be so devastating. I think the number total I had was like 1.5 million died in the story from that earthquake. That it centered in downtown San Francisco, and it was like, oh crap. And I mean, I had to read up on it and all that, but I mean, it helped having lived through and watched the devastation of 9/11, the trauma caused by both it and the Challenger at the time. Um, it's not something you want people to live through. And in the story, the main character, you know, breaks down in tears over seeing the images and whatnot. And it's a point for a friend of hers or a building friendship because this is where the friendship kind of starts with them. And her friend comes in and is like, why are you crying? It's like, did you know somebody? She's like, no. Well, then what good is the tears for people to be wasted here when you can do something? You can help in some way. And that's basically what she's telling you is like, you can sit here and cry about it, or you can do something. And that's the importance of these historical moments. And I mean, very much, that's what I get from seeing the image of Trump surviving this gunshot. It is literally he could have cowered, he could have hid away, and nobody would have thought worse. But he showed a moment of power and said, no, I'm going to say fight, fight, fight. And people give him crap about it. No, dude, that's what you have to have. You cannot sit there and let others that want to destroy you destroy you. You have to be strong. And that's what that photo definitely showed the world. I mean, it shows that moment shows the world he is strong. And without doubt, I've watched reactions from Japan and from Europe, and people are like, dude, I want to vote for him because I saw that, and that is badass. I mean, there's anime memes reproducing the photo. I mean, because it's freaking badass. Love or hate the guy, it's a badass moment. Given the shooter was dead at this point, but his head was blown by this point. But, alright. I've been drawing a little bit of Esme here. We're going to cover a few of the photos. So, yeah, we've been covering this photo. We're going to come back to these. We're going to pick up on 2012. Because the site I'm about to show you that starts this ends on 2011. So we're going to start with the 2012. Again, warning, these photos, several of them, are people dead, dying, or about to die. That is what really the trauma of humanity is. What builds the things. So the first one in the photography category, the first ever photo that became in the photography category of the Pulitzer is the Ford Strikers riot. If you didn't know, there was a big to-do in 1941. This was when unions started to become a thing. And there was a big fight over, basically, should we become union or not? And it was a brawl. And this is 1941. This is before we went to war here in the United States, but the war was already going. Or excuse me, this is 1942. 1942. I'm going to lower the music for this part because, no, wrong thing. Wrong thing. Where's the music? I'm going to lower the music because we're going to go over a little bit of what these things. So, water, this is, let's see, 1943. This is basically the war in the Pacific building up. Talking about bombers, let's see. Noel escaped aboard a freighter bound for Burma, Japanese torpedo vessel. Trapped in his canyon, Noel used a heavy chair to batter down the door. He flees with a handful of shipmates for 5 days. This is Frank Noel is a Singapore photographer, Associated Press. So this photographer dramatically escaped a Japanese torpedo vessel. I don't know why it's a vessel. Maybe it's not truly a sub. Maybe it's like a U-boat. It never really truly sank fully. You'd always have some point in the air. Maybe it's something like that. On day 3, a lifeboat came close to Indian shores, tried desperate to beg for water. Noel and his group have none to give. With all the materials exhausted in the ordeal, Noel nonetheless raises his camera and shoots. The boat drifts apart. Indian sailors are never heard from again. So, these guys were asking for the last hope they could get, and they didn't get it. So, uh, early Earl Bunker of the World Herald Omaha covers the return of Colonel Robert Moore, Viscella, Iowa, July 15th, 1943. At the time of Viscella was a small hometown of about 1,000 people. So, a colonel hugging his child after he comes home from war, which is weird because it happens in 1943 and the war had barely started. There was a second one, Tawara Island. I mean, look how devastated this is. Uh, it's one of the atoll islands and just shows the devastation of war. 1945, the infamous Iwo Jima. I don't even have to talk about this photo. The taking of Iwo Jima, where they were raising the flag. This was staged. I hate to say it. This photo was staged. It occurred, but they had to retake the photo. So, 1946, there was no award given. 1947, death leap from a blazing hotel. Only 5 flashbulbs. 26-year-old Georgia Tech student Arnold Hardy used his last one to capture the photo of a woman leaping from the Winecroft Hotel fire. Hardy was the first amateur to win a Pulitzer Prize. Let's see. Has no fire escapes, no fire doors, no fire stairs. The hotel is 15 stories high. The ladders of the Atlanta Fire Department did not reach above the 9th floor. So, in other words, if you were in this hotel and you were panning up, you're dead. You had no escape. You are going to die. Because smoke rises, it's going to hit you. So either the smoke, the fire, or unfortunately the leap down will kill you. The boy and the gunman hostage during the suburbs job in the suburbs in Boston, crushing hear a call by radio. Ed Bancroft, a 15-year-old boy, had made another boy hostage in an alley trying to escape the police. Crushing makes you short. The grammar sucks on the site. He'll say hostage situation. The residents let go and back of his house. The record of the scene is knocked to the policeman who comes behind the fence, was then arrested. Okay, so boy lived, so that's good. 1949, Babe Ruth retires. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that one. It's not needed. 1950, near collision at an air show. An impressive photo, nonetheless. I'll give it that. It's not as dramatic as what we get. Flight of refugees across wrecked bridge in Korea. So this is gotta be heartbreaking. The Korea War, of course, occurred right after the World War II. So and you had a lot of people trying to escape. Let's see, where did this occur in Korea? So basically, covering the Korean War as a war correspondent, I attached my military unit, whichever one I choose. Defense picked the 187th Regiment, which parachutes deep into North Korea to liberate UN prisoners. The jump was successful. The rescue is not. 300,000 Chinese troops swoop across the bridge border and to aid their North Korean allies. So, yeah, not a successful mission. Wilbanks Smith breaking Johnny Bright's jaw. Okay. Yeah. You see a lot of these photos in sports, so it's not that impressive these days. Hole in the shoe. Uh, Photo of Gallagher, the Flint Journal. Former governor of Michigan, presidential candidate, Aldi Stevenson. Uh, Caught with a hole in the sole of his shoe, Stevenson ran twice for president on the Democratic Party in 1952 1956, losing both times to Dwight Eisenhower. This is his third attempt in 1960, lost the primary to John Kennedy, who elected the president at the time. So, truck accident. Impressive. We see a lot of these days. This is a photo of trauma. Basically, kid was lost at sea, playing happy in their yard, somehow wandered down to the beach, and he was swept away by a fierce tide. Devastating moment when the couple are by the shoreline. It's a heartbroken. When you hear the story, it's a heartbreaking moment. We're gonna stop in the mid '60s and go back to art. Bomber crashes in street. November 3rd, 1955. Published series of images taken by a team of New York Daily News who documented the fall of a B-26. A team of photographers, among whom a photographer, George Madison, took a photo of a bomber crashes in a street above. Despite the residential area, the pilots of the B-26, the only one who died in the crash. Good. People got away. Striking of the SS Andrea Doria. Passengers enjoying the last night at sea, dining, dancing, playing cars. Isn't this what, what's the name of that movie? Forget it. It's the one, it's about the ship that flips over upside down in the water, in the ocean. Luxury liner that was through fog-bound waters. It was 11 p.m., July 25th, 1956. The ship is just off Nantucket. Now, I'm seeing something common here. A lot of these photos are taken in July. Oh, joy. Cruising out or crushing out in New York Harbor in Stockholm, a Sweden-American liner is now plow-heavy, reinforced against winter ice. It's July! How does it get hit by winter ice? It's July! In New York! Was it cold that month? It's July! How? Faith and confidence. Yields photo of a policeman patiently reasoning with a 2-year-old boy trying to cross the street during a parade was the most applauded picture ever to appear in the Washington Daily News. It's cute. It's cute. It's definitely cute. Wheels of death. Seaman reported in Minneapolis Star the accident in which a boy died after being hit while playing with his stand on the street. Okay. Yeah. Not a pleasant picture. Alright, we're almost gonna pause for this point. This is an Infinite's photo. I don't even need to read this one to tell you what this is. For those who love to wear your Che Guevara shirt, this is Che Guevara's men executing this man, and this priest giving him his last rites. So, this is Cuba's revolution that killed this man, and the priest reading his last rites. Like I said, a lot of these are going to be about death, because death is a good photo thing. Tokyo stabbing. Okay. Election season in Japan. Time, discussion, argument, and debate. On October 12th, 1960, 3,000 people crammed Tokyo Ibeya Hall to hear Socialist Party Chairman Inaro Mura, or Mua, battled it out with liberal Democratic Prime Minister Hayato Ikeda. Reporters and TV crews and photographers of the crowd staged one of them as Yushi Nago, the photographer, whatnot. The chairman lambasts the Japanese government for its mutual defense of the treaty with the United States. Right-wing students begin to heckle and shout thrown wads of paper the burly party chairman. The police rush to quell the unrest. The press follows, with except for Nagano, who is the only one shot left on the camera, stays close to the stage. Suddenly, the right-wing student Otoya Yamaguchi rushes out. I thought Yamaguchi was carrying a brown stick to strike assassination. Nagano remembers, with Nagano's slender figure wielding a Japanese samurai sword. Before anyone can stop him, Yamaguchi plunges the sword into the chairman. Asuma staggers, pulls out the blade, and lifts the camera. And appears Asuma through the heart. Okay. Assassin that succeeded. And a lot of people compared the assassination with Trump with Asano? Ano? Abe's killing. The former prime minister of Japan that got shot by a homemade shotgun. It's a little different, but it's still traumatic. You know, Abe was well beloved as a prime minister. Yeah, he had his problems, but Japan kind of liked the dude. I mean, he was okay. And he was killed with an idiot and a homemade shotgun. And yeah, not common for guns. However, stabbings in Japan are not rare enough. Which is why guns alone are not a problem for those who keep wanting to remove guns from people. Because then it goes to knives, and then it goes to stones, and then it goes to fists. And yeah. You can kill anybody with enough incentive. I'm not too sure about this one. Okay. Young John F. Kennedy is wobbling the disastrous Bay of Pigs invention. Okay. And generating fallout. Cuba's Fidel Castro is furious. Soviet leader Khrushchev presses the advantage. Americans questions Kennedy's ability to lead. So that's the setup. Okay, this is Bay of Pigs. Kennedy retreats to Camp David with his predecessor, Dwight D. Eisenhower. The two local leaders pose for a photograph, and associate producer, I was right in front of them, says Vartas. I heard Ike tell Kennedy, I know a place where we can talk. And the new president and the former general head away from the throng. So he took a picture of them leaving together, and they look so lonely. I mean, this is a rare moment of two presidents consulting each other over a very serious issue. This was 1961. 1960, or no, it was that too. That was 1960. 1963. Aid for the Padre. A priest holding a wounded soldier in the 1962 Venezuelan insurrection, aid from the Padre. Photograph was distributed by Associated Press. During the fighting of the insurrection promoted by Venezuela's Flores Mendez, the Liberación Nacional, Father Luis Padillo was in the crossfire, and despite the danger, instead of giving the last sacrament to all the dying soldiers, Ramondos for the Daily La República took this photographs of Pablo sheltering the wounded soldier in the midst of the shooting. So that's what this one was. Jack Ruby shoots Lee Harvey Oswald. No need to explain this. It's it's an infamous moment in history. Uh, the irony of an assassin being shot by an assassin. So, and makes the whole JFK killing conspiracy go wild as to why Ruby killed Oswald. So, this is going to get disturbing. This is Vietnam War. Horst Pernaz, Associated Press, famous for his photographs of Vietnam War in 1964. The image above depicts the father holding his son, small child covered in napalm burns. The photograph was taken in March 19th, 1964, shortly after Vietnamese forces were devastated a small village where suspected communist Viet Cong were hiding. They attacked dozens of innocent people. This shows this is a very important photo in the sense of showing the devastation of napalm. I'm kind of surprised we didn't get photographs from Hiroshima in Pulitzers. They are equally as devastating, if not worse. But I mean, to look at that child burned like that, that's heartbreaking. And we'll come back to them more. I'm gonna go ahead and switch out, but I'm gonna move the page to the next picture. Oh joy, oh joy, oh joy. Even more. Generous. I don't know if I want to say generous. Even more glorious photos. You. It's gonna be a downer night. I wanted to do something not downer, and then I realized most of the Pulitzer photos are of war and devastation. So, yeah, trying to be or less dark about an assassination that occurred just a few days ago. Wow. It's hard. It's hard. But yeah, I swear, we're not gonna keep doing these dark. I mean, last week's wasn't dark. It was heartbreaking in the sense that Cartoon Network is pretty much killing itself, which it is. We will touch it. I promise. I'll try to find a happier subject next week. This was literally, the event occurred on Saturday. I saw the photo pretty much as it started to get on social media. And I was like, yep, that's the photo. That's the photo that will sum this up. And I'm not surprised. Yes, it is. That is the photo going around the world. With good reason. Now, when we get to current day, it's gonna be hard to say if the photos are deserving or not of the Pulitzer. We'll see. We'll see. I question that because a lot of the Pulitzers these days is political, and I don't mean, a political concept, but it's more like you grease this wheel and we'll get you this Pulitzer. Kind of political. Which sadly has been the way the world has gone for years. If you grease the right wheels, you get what you want. You really do in this world. That's sad to say. Let's put the music back up. It's a little cheerier, even though this song is about a fallen soldier. Da, 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 the solution. If you guys have a topic you want us to cover, please be cheerful. Send it my way. You know, I'm open to talking about different topics on the stream. The stream is our topical one, so we can talk about things that are not dark and scary in the world for a change. That'd be great. That'd be great. Great. um. Yeah. The reason why I'm like, oh, it's dark and scary. If you don't pay attention to the news, we were very close. If that had killed Trump, I had no doubt civil war would have broken out in the US and world war would have broken out in the rest of the world. You are touching upon very dangerous territory. Should that have happened? Because this election already is like a stick of dynamite with a very short fuse being lit. There's no doubt there's going to be a lot of people going too far, no matter which way the election goes. It's just a matter of who's gonna play what end, and for what reasons. And that's why they were like, oh, after it occurred, they're like, we need to decrease this pollutional vitriol that we're talking about these days from both sides, albeit one side has been doing it a lot worse than another, and the worst, they don't want to acknowledge it, but both sides do it, and it's not appropriate. Both need to end it, but one side is very toxic, and they act like, I mean, the best way to put it is their shit don't stink. I hate to go vulgar with it, but that's the only way to really put it. If you're wondering why I have a page of chapter 1 of Witching Up, if you follow the comic, we're gonna get a picture of Theodore's mom. Because they're gonna be talking about her for a little bit, because we're getting a moment of Theodore, not Ida, appearing in the comic. So they're gonna be talking about a family curse that using Theodore's mom's curse to explain things. That was not on 10 intended. So let's see. All right. But yeah, basically, I've explained his mom's curse before. She is a very gifted precog. She can predict the future and whatnot. But her power works oddly in the comic, and the way it works is more often, the more true the event that she predicts, the less likely the people that it affects, they'll believe. But there's more of a curse to it, because for her, she had her second child. She never sees her child as anything more than the toddler in her life. She will never see her son grow in her mind. Because they're both brothers. So David, Ida / Theodore's brother. David's curse, I can explain it. David's curse is he's overly large. He keeps growing. He's currently like 8'9" in the comic. And growing. So he already dwarfs the family members. And he's just gonna keep growing. That's his end of the curse. But Esme here is gonna be telling Theodore, well, maybe you have a curse. Maybe your mom passed a curse onto you, and you never had to deal with it. And so I'm introducing something that I literally just came up with while I was doing this chapter. There was no plan for Ida / Theodore to have a curse when I started this chapter. But now it is. It's occurring. They will have a curse. I don't want to ruin it but it does sort of play into what happened with Val. So everybody saw all the events of Val so far in the comic, and she won't be appearing at least for 2 to 3 more chapters. I don't know. I don't even know if she'll ever reappear, but I have a feeling she will. I have a feeling I'll bring her back. Whether she'll still be obsessively in love with Ida, I don't know. But Ida was not intending that obsession from people she interacts with. But it's not the first time it occurred in the comic. It occurred in the first issue. And technically second issue. When she introduced herself, people were like, oh, you even had the old man who was against witches at the beginning immediately turned to loving her. Now, the gag being, of course, oh, he fell in love because she's beautiful and has sexy body. But maybe there's something more. Maybe there is a curse. I don't know if that's actually the curse. I want to set up the premise there is a curse. I don't know whether or not I want this to be the curse or something different. We'll come down the line. But the idea of giving Ida a curse actually helps push the story a little bit. The next chapter is very much going to be pushing the story because it will be bringing the Wansdale into play, family into play, and Ida has to answer to the Wansdales because she's using their name. So we'll get to meet one Wansdale more thoroughly in the next chapter. There'll be others in the future. Val, most notably, or not Val, Valorian. Valorian, most notably. He's called Val. Oh, no, crap. Is it Val? God. Did I name 2 characters Val? Damn it. Or maybe what was the damn name of the... Hold on. I might be thinking wrong of characters. I know she starts with a V, but she shouldn't be Val. Sid. Oh, no, it's Sydney. That's right, Sydney. Sydney's madly in love. But Florian is too. Florian is too. So I gotta rename. I gotta reinstate. It's Sydney that fell madly in love earlier in the chapter. Valerian, in name, is Ida's cousin. In name is Ida's cousin. But since Ida's not actually a Wansdale, it's in name only. All right. What do we got here? We got a message that's not showing up properly. Oh no. Okay, I think it's. Wait, hold on. There it is. Just trying to get it pull up. Hey, Ambria. Oh, it's Yoshi. What does a Pulitzer worthy mean? Also, hi, how are you? I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Pulitzer worthy. Basically, it means a photo or, item that is recognized by the world as a moment of history, a moment that either changes the world, emphasizes the world, or explains the world. Pretty much. That is what it's supposed to mean. Now, like I said before, it gets political. And these days, you get some people getting to the point where their supposed entry is nothing but a bought and sold element, and the full of it. So yeah, occasionally you might see something. Oh, Boogie Boo also said, okay. Yoshi said, hey. Oh, so then yes, it is. Yes. As I said at the beginning, yes, I do believe the photo of Trump at the assassination attempt is Pulitzer worthy. I do believe that. My statement, though, stands. The Pulitzer Prize community have already stated they don't like Trump. So the chances of that photo winning is harsh. Anybody can nominate. And you can nominate anybody for the Pulitzer Prize. They have to have an accomplishment, but you can nominate anybody. Same with the photos. You can nominate any photo. So I have no doubt it's going to be nominated. My doubt, is it going to win? I don't know. And we'll go over the photos. In fact, yeah, let's go back to some photos. Let's go back to some of the photos. So 1966. Vietnamese mother and children flee bombing village. Estimated more than 90,000 Vietnamese civilians were killed by American attacks during the war. The problem, and I've had a teacher who was a Vietnamese war veteran explain this to me. The problem was you really couldn't tell who was on your side and who wasn't with the Vietnamese war. And that deception and that mistrust caused a lot of innocents to die. Either intentionally or unintentionally be killed. And it was sad. And the fact that it was a type of combat American soldiers were not ready for. I had an uncle in Vietnam. And I had to go take care of him over the weekend. He's not in good shape. He became a drug addict. He's recovering, but he's, elderly these days and suffering from his addictions and his trauma. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Vietnam was not a pleasant thing. Uh, I don't recommend looking up. Yes. Yes. Um, oh wait, why is it sound so small now? Hold on. Oh, like this. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna hit some photos. We already hit one. I mean, we hit the Napalm Child in 1964 that won the Pulitzer, and it's not pleasant. This is not pleasant either. This is James Meredith. This is the first African American to attend the University of Mississippi, uh, and the National Guard demanded the proof that Black Americans can pursue the civil rights. Uh, yeah, he was unarmed and he was shot. Um, it's this when you want to talk about the devastation of the civil rights movement. This sums it up right here. Most people would be like, oh, Martin Luther King or Malcolm X moments. No, it's James Meredith. It's his shooting. It's devastating. He did not deserve this. He did not deserve this. Um, this caused the term of Black Power. Um, did Meredith? I don't remember. Did he survive? I was sitting there in a car. Thorno. No, he died. He didn't. I thought he died. Yeah. Yeah. Got shot by a 16 gauge and died. Slowly. But he died. Dreams of better times. So, being a soldier in Vietnam, trudging through unfamiliar countryside. This is the crap that my teacher explained, because my uncle didn't talk about the war. Just like my grandfather, he didn't talk about World War II. This is what my teacher told me. It was like, yeah, this was the war. You were sitting in a heated jungle waiting to die, basically. It wasn't a pleasant war. Winner in sports photography. How this won sports photography, I don't know. This is a tragic moment that became good. It's two line workers, one that got electrocuted horribly, was dying. His coworker climbed the pole immediately and gave him mouth to mouth and saved his life. So this is literally called the kiss of life. I had a grandfather that was in Korean War. Oh, Korean War was not pleasant either. One of my college theses was, that was Vietnam. The fall of Saigon. I had to do a coverage of the fall of Saigon with a survivor of the fall of Saigon, and how he was only a small child and he was traumatized from being a small child, having watched. And I mean, the only example I can give that is publicly displayed, look at the evacuation of Afghanistan when America left Afghanistan. That was what the fall of Saigon looked like. It was not pretty. Almost was. The war ended before he got put on the battlefront. Well, that's good. That's good. Because yeah, none of the wars. I mean, war sucks. We do not need a world war, and we need to avoid it. Same with the Civil War. Come on, folks. Turn your rage away. I mean, be nice to people. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna like things, but toughen up. Toughen up, Cupcake. That's the best way to put it. Okay. Winner in feature photography is this, which is Martin Luther King Jr. It was his funeral. Uh, which one is this? Is this his niece? No, his daughter. Uh, Miss King and her daughter. So, Vietnam War sucked bad. Yes, yes. I feel the scars of Vietnam are still being felt well today, not just by the soldiers, but by the people that lived that time and after. And after. We've never quite treated our veterans properly, and we still aren't. We still aren't. We're treating them like crap. Um, there are other two photos, they're not showing them. Which Saigon execution. Oh no, they are. They are. Uh yeah. Um, like I said, there's a photo. I don't know if it'll be in the list of a photographer in I believe it was Afghanistan that took a photo of his own future death. He photographed the guy who was about to shoot him, and a second later. Um, and this is another moment. It's just this is the Tet offensive, killing others, and it's heartbreaking. What is? I wish I knew more about this photo. They're not giving me information about this so much. Pictures of Florida migrant workers, misery in 1970, and campus guns. Again, civil rights issues. Um, this is where we're starting to get multiple choice winners. The mentally ill in Illinois. America doesn't want to talk about it much. But if you're into like ghost shows or haunting shows, you kind of know that there were a lot of mental wards up until the 80s that were not. I mean, a lot of people like to give crap about Reagan putting people out on the street that need mental help. A lot of those mental facilities were abusing their patients. I mean, it was horrendous stuff going on in those places. And you'll hear about it now and then, but there's a reason the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest exists, or the book. This is the kind of treatment we gave our mentally disturbed. It's even the people that can't do things or mentally impaired do not need to be treated like crap. Come on, man. Yeah, there are some that are violent, always mentally, but you can still treat them a little bit like human and not cattle. I mean, it's Kent Massacre in state. I don't need to talk about it. It sadly, uh, yeah, 4 dead in Ohio were killed basically in a peace protest that went wrong. See which one is this? Vietnam dramatic photos of the Vietnam War. So more Vietnam photos. Childbirth. So first photo of childbirth, maybe. I don't know. This is probably just like life. We want this photo to represent life. 1973. Okay. Yeah, they wanted to talk about natural childbearing and whatnot. The terror of war. Uh, Rain falls thick. Anything that touches it, thatch roofs. Burning, burning. So napalm. More napalm photos. Just napalm was again. Vietnam War sucks. We can't say it enough. Um, if napalm was one of the worst things created as a weapon. I mean, given what it was inevitable, but to be created, but it's still horrendous. Those who don't know, napalm is basically flaming gasoline um, in gooey clusters that slowly burn. And it literally is made of gasoline. So that's why it's like it was going to be created nonetheless. It's just who created it. And yay, America! Another death product that we put in the war. Hey. Returns from Vietnam. So, soldiers finally coming home from Vietnam in 1974. So, fetal Hollywood drama. Photographer of Beverly Hills First Picture Series Fatal Hollywood Drama, in which alleged kidnapper was killed. So, kidnapper was killed. So, yay. Gonna applaud that. Photograph, colors in black and white. Lull in the battle. So, Matthew Lewis was the first photographer in the Washington Post ever to win a Pulitzer Prize and did so in 1975. The photo of his colored pictures, now retired and living in Thomasville, North Carolina. Lewis is coming to the university, blah, 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 blah. I want to know what the photo's about. Come on. Yeah, tell me what the photo's about. It doesn't want to tell me. I have a feeling it's civil rights. It looks like civil rights. But I don't know this moment, so I can't speak. Again, I don't. I guess this is just them taking photos of life. I don't know. It doesn't explain. Staff photographers, pictorial report on Louisville schools. Okay. Was this when segregation was finally being brought down? Probably. And David Hughes, the other Greenwood Elementary School. Okay. I don't know. This is a devastating photo, and I can tell you about it. So, we had a burning hotel earlier. This is another one. This is a hotel that was on fire. People tried to escape on the fire escape, and the escape dropped. And we have two people pictured here, a mother and her 3-year-old. Her mother dies. The mother dies. The 3-year-old lived. So, how many floors was it to? 6-story apartment house, excuse me. So it wasn't a hotel, it was a 6-story apartment in New York that caught flames. Devastating picture in the moment. 1977. Disabled veteran and his child at the Armed Forces Day Parade. Disabled veteran. Yeah, I mean, it sums up probably Vietnam veteran that I certainly hope he got treated much better than most veterans of Vietnam, but I sadly doubt it. Another one, disorder brutally on the streets of Bangkok, which is the next one. Wow. Um, shared it up. They hung somebody. Okay, okay. Looks like they hung somebody. Yeah. One night, two liberal students are lynched. And it looks like lynching was not enough for her, or him, or whoever. They're going to beat them with a chair after they were lynched. What kind of rage, people? Soiling of old glory. More protesters. Showing a protester using the American flag as a lance. Foreman took a while photoing. Did the person get hurt? Everything started happening to me. Punching, kicking, viewer dangling a large American flag, hold the student repeatedly with a ball. I was making a photo to be hit, and I saw him going down and rolling over, being hit with a flagpole. I switched lenses to get him escaping the crowd. So this was the flag being used as a moment of racial hatred. So, yeah. More civil rights photos. And it's not going to get any better for a little while. Guerrilla war in Croatia. Money borrows revenge. Okay. Let's read this one, and then I'll go back to drawing, where it's far more pleasant than these photos have been turning out. Anthony Christitis storms into Maryland mortgage on Indianapolis. He wires a shotgun to Meriden president Richard Hall, marches the Hall out of the building, and commanders a police car. Story begins months ago before Mandarin lent Christus money to build a shopping center. The loan is due and Christus cannot pay. He claims the moneylenders discouraged investors so that Meriden could foreclose on the property. Now, Christinas and Hall are holed up in the money borrower's apartment. United Press photographer John Blair outside the place looked like an armed camp. Stated police and local sheriffs or every kind of law enforcement. Blair settled in with the rest of the UPI team and waits. After 3 days of negotiation, Christus walks him out, still tied to the shotgun, and says, "I'm a national hero, and don't you forget it." I had a good position and phenomenal angles. I had 3 cameras and ready to use all 3. So, yeah. Don't screw people over, man. That's basically what this is. Dude screwed dude over. Dude came with shotgun, held the dude hostage, and tried to, personally arrest him. Blizzard Rams New England. Lovely photo. If this was all the photos that we're seeing tonight, then I would be like, oh, that's good. That's peaceful. Even though it's a blizzard attacking a lighthouse. Oh. And waves crashing. It's like, oh. But we're not going to get that, are we? Tragedy on Saratoga Road. All right, this will be the last one before we come back. In spring of 1978, Kelly responded to a call. A scanner, the man had taken his family hostage. Okay, needless to say, came out with the young girl begging the police not to hurt father. He's bloodied, knife wounds. The girl, let's see, she was bloodied with multiple knife wounds. Grabbed the young girl, quickly escorting to safety. Kelly, although professional, had been unable to bring himself to photograph the young girl until her face was hidden. Oh my god. Hostage situation. No, we gotta be cheerful. I know the next. Okay, the next photo is not bad. The next photo is not bad. I will say that much. We will probably go long to go through all of these because I do want to cover all the photos. But yeah, it's not a pleasant night for viewing. If you came here, this is, I swear, this is not how the stream goes. We do not sit here and look at traumatic photos of the past. It's just tonight's subject because I wanted to go away from the assassination talk. Even though it's kind of hard to escape it. And I brought us into a new hell. Oh, good. Yay. I apologize. I promise I will hunt for something stupid or weird or funny next week. We are not going to do another drama-filled stream. At least not unless it's something funny and silly. This is me laughing to get over the problem. Beetlejuice. I recently watched Beetlejuice again on Prime. Because Prime had it. I was like, okay, if the new movies come out. The effects in Beetlejuice sucked. There's the practical effects. They were okay. But the green screening was horrible in that film. And it showed. And I think the only reason people have nostalgia for that film isn't the film. It's the animated TV series that was fun. Because the Beetlejuice animated show was great. But the movie, it's okay. We've already been traumatized and desensitized. It'll not to affect me. Good. At least you're fine, Bookaboo. I'm more worried about Kiyoshi, who I know as a kid. I don't want to be traumatizing. I swear I'm not responsible. Alright, yes, I did show the photos on stream, but I did not mean to cause childhood trauma. Hell, I started the stream talking about the trauma of, my own trauma of watching the Challenger as a kid, and the schools being like, hey, kids, come and watch the space shuttle. And we're going to have a big presentation showing the space shuttle going up in space. And leave now. Being the moments from the shuttle is like, do not keep showing the kids this. They are going to be traumatized. I honestly wonder how many kids my age remember being traumatized by watching the Challenger. Oh no, my mom had told me about that before. Yeah. And when you were in school, because I was like 8, probably, and because it was a teacher going into space, they were like, oh, we need to show this to students and imbue their love of science. And so they held rallies and showed the whole thing to the students. And it blew up. And yeah, She said it's how she knew people because they turned in every time they were tuned and were on TV, all watched the excitement in their hearts, and then boom. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody was excited and it just boomed. Almost threw a Big Bird and Sesame Street in this young. Yeah, yeah, that would have killed kids. I mean, to watch Big Bird blow up. But he is a canary. I mean, Big Bird is a canary. Canonically, he is a canary, and canaries are signs of Trump or devastation and danger. So it's fitting that Big Bird could have blown up on the Challenger. Yeah, yeah. The day Big Bird almost died. I think I'll do that as a stream. The day of Big Bird almost died. Here I am thinking of more trauma. More trauma streams. The day Big Bird almost died. But yeah, I mean, and I explained my experience with 9/11. I didn't say what apartment I looked at. So I didn't get the apartment I looked at when 9/11 occurred. Because the whole devastation occurred at 9 in the morning. I was checking out an apartment. Let's see, about how many miles from here? So from my current apartment, it's probably about 10 to 12 miles away. This apartment was the weirdest layout. It was, now mind you, it was a building that was built before the 1900s, okay? It was built in the 1800s. I had a science teacher who was in the second building that happened. He said all they knew was another plane coming down and rushed out. Yes. Yes. So I was checking out this apartment. It had, first off, the carpeting was like bright blood red, like the color of my ribbons, red. And the walls were piss yellow. The worst part, you had to go through the bathroom to get to the kitchen and to the bedroom. So it was just like so weird. And I came out of there, and all of a sudden, the radio's going crazy. And everybody's talking about this stuff. And it's like, oh crap, what is going on? And I get home, and my stepdad has the phone on or TV on because he worked from home. And holy crap, was that devastating. I literally had just started a job, and this was my day off. And it was just like, oh crap. And then, like I said, when I actually found my apartment later that day, no one. I mean, I live in a city of 1,000,000 plus people, and no one was on the streets. That's how scary it was. A day that will ever live in infamy. Yes, I had grandparents. I had a grandfather. My stepfather's father was at Pearl Harbor. He was not on the ships at the time. He was in the Navy, and his grandmother was from Hawaii. But they were at Pearl Harbor. They were in church at the time, so they lucked out. But they were at Pearl Harbor. And then, to make even more note, his father was an aerial photographer who was assigned to the Hindenburg on its doomed flight. He did not catch that flight, and he took other aerial photographs. He's one of the first aerial photographers of all time, and he did not get on Hindenburg. It's just like, damn. It sounds awful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I again, Saturday was an event that people are going to remember. They're going to remember where they were. Like I said, I was with my parents. They were watching it live. Uh, it made dinner conversation for my birthday horrible. Because my birthday is July 13th. And now, July 13th, my 46th birthday will forever be traumatized. Up until this point, I was able to laud over my brother, at least for a few years, that the only notable thing about my birthday was Harrison Ford was born on my birthday. And he had Bill Cosby. And for years it was like, oh, Bill Cosby is a great guy. And then the allegations came out, and it's like, But, yeah, I had a decent birthday. I mean, it was a lot busier than I wanted to be. Usually on my birthday, in the past, I would take the day off and do nothing. Literally do nothing. Just play video games and rest. That would be my birthday that I would enjoy. Usually I'd pick up a new video game and do something like that. But this year, because my parents are getting older, my family's getting older, it's like, okay, my brother's miles away, not in this state. All my family that's living mostly live within miles of me. It's like, okay. And almost all of them are in their 70s plus. And it's like, okay. Sunday I had to go help my uncle, like I said, get him moved into a new place. And yeah, being the only adult child that can carry stuff. Guess who got elected? My family always forces me to go out on my birthday. I always have fun, and I'm thankful. But if I had my way, I'd stay home and chill. I mean, that's good. That's good. My problem was growing up, because my birthday's in July, school never occurred in my birthday. So I never had friends for my birthday. Usually we'd go to the beach around that time, and the fact that my brother is literally the day before, I have an aunt. My aunt is 2 days before. I had an uncle that was also the same day as my brother, and my dad is the week after mine. It's like, you didn't really get to celebrate your own day much. Happy late birthday, by the way. Thank you. So, I mean, it's like I have a private ritual for Christmas Eve. That is my own ritual. I don't want to mess that up because it's my ritual. It's what I do every Christmas Eve. It's not like devastating. It's I sit down and watch It's a Wonderful Life and National Lampoon, and that's how I want to spend my Christmas Eve. And have milk and cookies. I don't care that I'm lactose intolerant. I'll still have milk and cookies. Oh, I'm not intolerant. It's just I shouldn't have them. Yeah, I have like 3 to 6 other family members that March birthdays they all celebrate. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird when families have like this grouping of birthdays. And it's like, well, we can trace down what month things went on with the family. In our case, it's Thanksgiving must have been real fun. because 9 months from July is November. Uh, but yeah, I jest, but I mean it's always been something that I just kind of like to quietly celebrate. Um, they in fact asked me at work last year, some of the people that got together and celebrate or did all the celebration stuff. It's like, what cake do you want? It's like, don't celebrate my birthday. Don't even sing to me. Just just let me be. That's how I want to celebrate my birthday. Is just quietly be. Although I have done birthday stream before when I had my 40. What was it? The 45th? No. It's the 42nd, I think. 42nd or 43rd. We did the birthday stream, which still has a memorable picture that people don't understand. Where's the cartoon version of real life me holding a gun to a birthday cake? Like, screw you, birthday. Ah. All right. We need to traumatize the last bit. All right, because we need to get through all these pictures. I hate to say it. Like I said, not a bad photo. Degree in architecture. Joined the Waco, Texas Tribune. Photographed Fort Worth Homeland. Let's see. National Press Photography. So this is just a prize-winning photograph. That's all. Nothing important. Firing squad in Iran. So this was, those who didn't know, Iran, the whole incident, Iran was not a shutdown, sort of deep religious Muslim country until 1980. That's when the whole Ayatollah came to power. And yeah, with a rise in power came bloodshed. So, Pulitzer Prize factor is that okay? Jackson State Prison in Michigan. This I think this photo is what inspired Chicago, the movie and stage play Chicago set, because the lighting is very fitting of how they do that setup. And the other one is Liberia. Yeah, I don't think I need to say what this photo is about. Those people did not live. Life in Chicago. Much happier photo. Much happier photo. Give me the delicious trauma. You want the trauma. Heads up. Moments before Reagan assassination. We talked about one assassination photo that brought this all on. Here's the other one. Oh. While it wasn't captured in film, like video. While it wasn't captured in video or on film, it was captured on photography before Hinckley shot Reagan. Reagan lived, but when he initially got shot, they didn't know how severe it actually was, and that was the scare with Trump. It's like, okay, he got shot. There's definitely blood on the side of his head. Did it hit inside? And luckily, it did not. Trump moved just at the right moment. to avoid death. Um, Following photography's life and death of El Salvador. In El Salvador. Yay! And Bill Foley in a Sabra camp in Beirut. Um, Beirut, not a pretty thing in 1980s. 1984. The Denver Post, a series of photographs of tragic events of starvation in Ethiopia. It's still a problem in Ethiopia. AIDS are also a horrible problem in Ethiopia, as well as Ebola. But, yeah. Things need to improve there. They really do. There's got to be something we can solve the problems for them. At least to let them help survive a little bit better. Effects of war on people in Lebanon. Yeah. Winner in sports photography. How is this a sports photography photo? I don't know. Ethiopian famine, some more. Yay. Olympics in Los Angeles. There are more important moments in the Olympics in Los Angeles. The LA Olympics is pretty much when the Olympics went huge and have been this grand event. I kind of feel they try to be these days, but I don't know how many people actually care about the Olympics these days. Philadelphia is homeless. Homelessness was a big thing in the 80s. Like I said, we had the mental health photos. That was the problem. A lot of the mentally disturbed people went to the streets or were put on the streets. Photographed depicting the shattering of American dreams of farmers, and photograph covering the fall of Marcos. Ferdinand Marcos. So, winner of sports photography, I don't know. Betraying the decay of so the last 3 years, it's about homelessness in the 80s. With good notion. I mean, when you have a successful rise in the economy like the 80s was, you tend to ignore the homelessness situation. And that's what the 80s had. They would show that. And having been homeless, it's not pleasant. Do what you can to not become homeless. It's tough on your body and it's tough on your mind. All right, Western High School. Okay, so we went from homelessness to high school photos. Okay, this. Oh my God. Firefighter giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to a child pulled from a burning building. Oh my God. Yeah, not a happy stream tonight. What is this website? Historical photos. These are the award-winning photos of the Pulitzer. Now, we're going to switch to the Pulitzer's own website. The problem with the Pulitzer's own website, they don't host all the photos. So, this one ends in 2011. So, we're going to go to we're going to go to the Pulitzer's own site for all the photos after 2011. Winner in sports photography. When was that? Oakland, California, devastation caused. Okay, This was the earthquake in 1989. I do remember this. Uh, the Oakland Bridge collapsed, and it was it wasn't as traumatic in my mind. But then I live on the East Coast, and it was distant. Now I had gone to San Francisco, I think in the 1993 or so. So they were still, or they had just reopened the bridge at that time. 91, photographer, orphan child in suburban Romania. And South Africa's National Congress brutally murdering a man, the Zulu spy. Oh, jeez. Like I said, these, these are, yeah. Um, I can't even speak about that. I really can't. That that's an execution of a human that you believe is a spy. Why am I even echoing all of a sudden? What the hell? What happened? Where's my gain? Where's my audience? There we are. Let's see. Why is my gain all of a sudden back up? Gain. There we go. Better. That's a painting, isn't it? No. No, that is not a painting. That man was being executed with fire for being a Zulu spy. Um, yeah, that man burned to death. These are not these are not paintings. These are photos. Photographs depicting a diverse lifestyle of a 721-year-olds across the United States and collapse of the communist regime. I do remember this moment. It was enjoyable. Alrighty then. Yes. Uh, presidential campaign. Bill Clinton talking to a kid. Barcelona Olympics. Nigeria winning. Much better photos. This one, no. Sudan famine. I just the picture of a vulture over a small child. It's mm. uh yeah, Mogadishu, a dead US soldier being dragged through the streets. Yay. Um horrors, more horrors of Rwanda. Uh and a crisis in Haiti. It's I'm kind of gonna try and breeze through some of these, but all right. Freelancer shocked with a sequence of photos published in New House News Service of a female genital cutting right in Kenya. Ugh. Ugh. And a freelancer's haunting photograph of Oklahoma City bombing. I remember this photograph. I remember this event. Um, 96, I was a high school senior. Columbine also occurred around this time. And I remember being in high school and they prevented us from wearing trench coats after Columbine. It was just like, okay. Fort Shelson, and the other one's going to be local firefighter rescuing a teenager from raging floodwaters. So, Yeltsin dancing. This was when Russia was free from the Soviet Union for the first time. I mean, they're getting stuff, and this looks like a movie scene right here, but this is a real life scene. Oh my god. Powerful images documenting the plight of young children and their parents with addicted alcohol. I it's a powerful photo, but I don't see how that's Pulitzer Prize winning. But I mean, I'm trying to remember what happened in '98, and the year was kind of a blur to me. African Journey. This would be more Pulitzer Prize than one. I mean, look at the crowd. Look at the crowd of these people trying to flee war-torn Africa. 99. This is Bill Clinton during his whole controversy, his indictment, and all that. This was a photo of him dealing with it at the time. What was this? I know they keep saying sports photography. It's not sports photography. Spot photography. Okay, spot photography. That's what they're saying. Not sports. Bombing in Kenya and Tanzania. Yeah. Yeah. It's a horrible moment. Fleeing Kosovo. Oh, did Columbine occur in 2000? Maybe I recall it in college then. God, college would have been my senior year. That would have been my senior year in college. And right at the end of college. Jeez. I didn't realize Columbine happened in 2000. Wow. Winner in feature photography. This is illustrates the care and recovery of two students critically burned in a dormitory fire. Oh, jeez. And a photo of an armed U.S. federal agent seizing the Cuban boy Elon Coleman. All right. Infamous photo. Infamous photo. One of the worst moments in American history politics. Forcing this child to go back to Cuba. When his dad was fleeing Cuba persecution. Poor Elon. I know some people have followed up on him, but you don't come take a child at gunpoint for. This is an ICE agent. This is an ICE agent taking a child at gunpoint. Not necessary. But Clinton did not. His end years were not smart. This and the whole David Koresh scenario both were horrible moves on the Clinton camp. What do you call them? Clinton's whole cabinet and everything. It was horrible. Although actually that's 2001. I guess it happened in 2000 because I do remember it was Janet Reno, which is Clinton. Oh no, Reno was Bush. Reno was Bush. All right, my mistake. It's on. No, wait. No, it would be Clinton because Bush didn't come into power until 2000 November. Administration is worst you're looking for. Is the administration? Yes, is the word I'm looking for. Yes, administration. I don't know why it's slipping my mind. Photographs of people enduring the Afghanistan and Pakistan conflict. This was when Russia was fighting Afghanistan and Pakistan a little bit, which led to the destruction of very many historical locations, including the giant statues of Buddha, which was a devastating moment in history. But no more devastating. We talked about it. We talked about it. There you go. 9/11 in one picture, right there. Um, yes, 9/11 had two other locations of damage. But the Twin Towers, I, as a person who lived and watched these days, this occur, and there were no words for that day. I barely remember talking much other than getting my apartment and being like yes and signing the lease. Um, because you just couldn't talk about what you saw that day. It was just mind numbing living through that moment. Um, and what's worse is it was a beautiful day. It was a lovely Tuesday, and it occurred. 2003, memorable portrayal of an undocumented Central American youth often facing danger to travel north of the United States. So, child riding on top of a train. Devastating fires. Was this the one in Australia or the one in California? As Rocky, California. All right, Rocky Mountains. So it's Colorado. Colorado fires. Behind the scenes of Libya and Dallas Morning News depicting the poignancy of the war in Iraq. So 9/11 came. This, it might be like, oh, well, it's a filter. It's not a filter. A sandstorm. This is what a sandstorm, driving through a sandstorm really looks like. It's tough to see, but the sky is red. I mean, eesh. This is a photo essay on Oakland's hospital effort to mend Iraqi boy nearly killed in an explosion. Ugh. Year-long combat in Iraq. And then we got 2006, haunting behind the scenes funeral of Colorado Marines who returned from Iraq in caskets. I mean, to say, as someone who lived through this point in time, to say that people weren't for the war in Iraq and in Afghanistan is a lie. Everyone was for them. Saddam, I mean, a lot of people want to say, oh, there's no reason for Iraq. As someone who covered the original Gulf War as part of my college thesis, and listened to stories of survivors of mustard gas, yeah, there was a reason to go back into Iraq and deal with Saddam. Did we end it right? I don't know. I don't think so. We definitely didn't end Afghanistan right, and that's to blame on the current administration for handling that. But we'll probably get to that. The other one was Hurricane Katrina. So, yeah. Horrible time. And it's tragedy. Although it wasn't like it was seen. I mean, more people should have been evacuated. And it was a lot of stubbornness and a lot of people wanting to loot and not realizing how much danger they were in with that one. Um, photographer of a lone Jewish woman defying Israeli security forces as they remove illegal settlers in the West Bank. So, issue we're currently dealing with the war in Hamas. So this is her defying building the West Bank. Remember me. So, photograph of a Japanese videographer, Kenji Najami, sprawled on the pavement, fatally wounded. Okay, that's something else. The first one would be family coping with a parent's terminal illness. I don't know. Me, yeah, it shows life. I don't take this as a devastating Pulitzer Prize winning photo. I really don't. This I do. This I do. So street demonstration Myanmar. So this is Myanmar and a Japanese photographer taking a picture. Before the Burmese soldier troops attacked the protesters. So yeah. 2009. Barack Obama. Right. Okay. After the storm, that's presidential. After the storm doesn't really tell us anything. I guess, see here. Young boy rescues beat up stroller in September 2020 or 2008 near his family flooded home and Genovese, Haiti. Okay. This was Haiti when they got devastated by a hurricane. So, um, so portrait of a teenager who joins the army. What does this say? Cradles his elbow during the processing. Though he later changed of heart, speaking with the commander, he saw the possibility to escape his enlistment in 2 days. So he was not really doing things. Moines Register. A woman pulled from near the street dam and a construction worker. She was an unidentified woman, died, unfortunately. And this is the last that'll be on this site, so we're gonna have to go on another one. Last two, I guess. Intimate story of innocent victims trapped in the city's crossfire of deadly violence in Los Angeles. Well, yeah, it's LA, sadly. And what was this last one? A post portraits of the grief and desperation and chaotic earthquake that struck Haiti. So, this is the Haiti earthquake that led to. I don't think they have recovered yet from the Haiti earthquake. The Clinton Foundation was supposed to help them out, but they haven't, and it's still a mess. All right, so we'll go to actual. This is Pulitzer's actual site. The reason we didn't use them before because a lot of the photos are not on Pulitzer's site. So, 2011 we had Trapped in the City's Crossfire of Gang Violence. We did that. 2012, for his compassionate chronicle, honorably discharged veteran from home from Iraq, struggling with severe case of post-traumatic stress. Better grasp the national issue. So that's his photo of, and there's more of that surviving the stress after coming home. This is why we need to treat our veterans better. I mean, it's no. Oh shoot! Dang it! We can pick the Pulitzer site. Dang it! Uh, Pulitzer prizes, feature photography. All right. Um, I'll try and open them a bit differently here. Um, extraordinary press of civilian or Syrian rebels. This was in the Syrian. I mean that the lighting of that is just amazing. As an artist, I love the photo, but yeah, it's horrific. Being in that situation, I can only imagine. Hanner of New York Times, this moving essay about the Boston bombing. So Boston bombing time. Uh, yeah. So this is one victim's recovery and dealing with the what happened to him. I. mm. 2015, freelancer, freelancer for the New York Times, Ebola epidemic in Ethiopia. This is not going to be pretty. I'm warning you right now. Um, yeah. Men in hazmat suit carrying a kid away. Uh, raw revealing photograph of the boy who survives or strives to find his footing after abuse he trusted. All right, I'm gonna have to back up on this one. I mean, these are more. A lot of these are photo essays, and I have a little more problem with the photo essays because it's like a photo in time. Like you can't. Okay, you're going to bed. All right, night, Bookie Boo. But yeah, the problem with photo essays is it's like do something. Don't let this crap keep continuing. If you have a photograph in time, that's one thing. But a bunch of photographs about their situation just to document it. Like, this is why I couldn't go into documentary work, even though I specialized in documentary work in college. I just could not sit by and not do something for the people that I would do the documentary on. And it's like, ugh, ugh. Um, that was the with the world of violence, refugees in Myanmar. All right, we were on 15. All right. The raw, revealing photograph story of Boris. All right, we got that one. So we did 16. 17. Suburb portrayal of a 10-year-old boy and his mother striving to put his boy life back together after he survived shooting in Chicago. So another photo essay of a kid who survived shooting. And that's troubling, but I'm glad he survived, and it's inspiring. I'll give it out of the photos we've seen tonight. Yay, yay! A photo with a good story behind it, and I mean good as in it's something good happened. I'm pretty sure I know what 2020 is going to be about. Naff River raft. I mean, see, okay, I'm fine with this video essay because this is documenting stuff that was going to happen no matter what. It was flooding and devastation in Myanmar, fleeing, more of the problems that have been going on in Myanmar for a while. Tungoli, tragic famine in Yemen. Yeah, it's gonna be another essay, isn't it? Yeah. Um, Starvation is just horrific. I, I, all I can say is this kid can't have survived. I hate to say it. When you're at that point, I having heard from people who've been in those kind of situations, it's like y- your desire to live is done at that point. You're praying for death, and I did it freaking again. Um, as infos, tragic famine. Okay, we did the famine, so we're in 2020. Um, Blackout during India. Okay, I kind of expected January 6th, but okay. All right. Protester jumps on the bonnet of an armored vehicle. All right. If I didn't know he was probably hurt and or killed, that's a badass photo. Dude looks like he's about to jump kick the damn fan. Dude. Why are they beating up motorcycles? Why? Okay. Uh, Photographs of elderly in Spain struggling during the pandemic. Okay. I'm not surprised the pandemic stuff was shown in 21 and not 2020 because 2020 everybody was in panic. So, all right, all right. Why? I guess give him a last moment of being out in the outdoors. But yeah, yeah. Uh More images of COVID. Yay! This time in India. Uh, uh 23. I I'm a little disappointed that we already have a 24. So the photographer of Trump is going to have to go in 25 if it does win the Pulitzer. I I doubt it. Um, Not that I don't think it should. I don't think it will. And again, it's the politics of it. As you can see, a lot of these recent photos are about famine and death and vaccine or the plague and war, and a lot of it away from America. So I'm not too surprised that that it went that way. So rest her stomach in a tent and what is this one? Oh crap! I did it again, didn't I? All right, House of Los Angeles Times. 20 pregnant 22-year-old woman living on the streets in tent. All right. What pisses me off here is the 23. This is Gavin Newsom's crap. Okay. This is Gavin. This if you're gonna blame it on anybody, this is Gavin Newsom. I can blame it on drug dealers. I can blame it on the people taking the drugs. I can blame it on the lax laws in California. This is Gavin Newsom's crap. He pushed it this way, and this is the devastation of California. It really is. I'm glad this is actually in here. This this is how she loses the struggle to raise her child. Not surprised. And 2024, um, mass migrations from Colombia to the border. I mean, since we're not even at the end of 24, I don't like that we've already awarded 24, but yeah. So over and all, do I think the that this photo is a Pulitzer Prize winner? Yes. Will it win? No, I don't think it will. And it literally is who the photo is in of and how it show what it shows. It should win the Pulitzer Prize, but it's not, and it's going to come down to politics. Uh, I hate to say it, but it's literally that. It's literally that. Now we've gone 15 minutes over, and we barely did any drawing. But we're not going to end on the sour notes. We're going to end up we're going to do some more drawing for a little while, and bring in some happiness. Come on, let's have some cheeriness. Let's have some happiness. Laugh, damn it, laugh, damn it, laugh. Yeah. Let's have some humor. Let's bring some peace into the world, and that's the key. A lot of the issues we saw tonight are preventable. A lot of them are war-based, and it's based on each country and how each country can handle their crap. But a lot of the stuff, such as the famine, the refugees, there are ways to take care of them. There's going to be devastation from earthquakes and weather. That's never gonna change. As much as we want to be like, oh, we can put a stop to these horrible weathers. No, we will never control the weather. It is pure chaos, and chaos rules it all. You cannot control chaos. Chaos controls us. What you can do is be supportive. And with the tragedy we had on Saturday, and it is a tragedy, we had an individual lose his life and two other individuals be permanently damaged. And I'm not even giving credit to the shooter for his life, because he did what he did and got what he deserved. There is a GoFundMe out there for the victims, started by Trump. If you can give something, give it to him. If you don't like Trump, give to another charity. Honestly, the point being is, we hate to see the photographs we've seen tonight, but the only way to improve the situations of the photographs is to be better people, to be charitable, to be peaceful, to be not violent and evil to each other. There's no other way to put it than go at peace. Be peaceful in your life. And that's the kind of person I try to be. I try not to be violent. I had a rage problem as a kid. And it was because I was trans. And I just want to put all of Boogie Boo's conversation here. I was trans. When I came out as trans, it was fine. But that may not be an issue if you have some sort of issue. The issues may just be you need to look in on yourself and improve yourself in some way, or do something better to better yourself. I mean, I'm fat. I have no excuse. I'm overweight, and I'm overweight because I love sweets. I'm addicted to sugar. There's no doubt. Uh, but there's a way I cannot be fat, and that is to diet. And I started a diet last week. It's going okay. I'm nearly starving myself at work, which is a problem because this is not a trained diet. It's not like a specialized diet. I'm purposely eating small amount of food throughout my work day and then come home and have a reasonable dinner. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And there's one other thing I'm not doing, and I need to be, and that's exercise. And that's on me. That's on me. I can stand here and sit and wallow and be like, I'm overweight and I can, I gotta accept that. No, no. I'm overweight. It affects my health. My health is bad already due to health issues, genetic issues. And if I keep gaining weight, I'm going to be in worse shape. I have gastroparesis. Normally, it's created by people with diabetes. I am not diabetic, but if I keep at the rate I go, I'm going to be diabetic. And the gastroparesis is going to get so much worse because I already have it. And most people, and the reason why I can state I don't have it from diabetes, even though I'm close to being diabetic, is the only time it comes with diabetes is if you are a severe diabetic. I am not diabetic. So I have not gained this problem through diabetes. How we gain it, I don't know. We're guessing genetics. I just happen to win that genetic lottery of screw me. That I have this problem that makes eating horrible for me. There's no other way to put around it. My small eating is more appropriate to what I should be doing with gastroparesis. But like the last 2 days, I had meat and cheese with some rice crackers. It's all right. I'm doing fine with the gluten free, but I'm not supposed to have the dairy. I am using cheddar, which is low lactose, but it's on me to do better. And it struggles. I mean, I'll get up tomorrow. I'm going to probably make lunch. Well, not lunch, but my snack for tomorrow when I get off stream. But I'll have to do better. I'm going to be like, do I really want to put cheese in there? And at the same time, I'm like sitting here and like, I need to clear out the cheese from the fridge. And it's a good protein. And my only other option for protein is protein bars. And I love my protein bars. If you watched my earlier streams, yeah, I had a sponsor that's a protein bar, and I still buy their bars. They're no longer a sponsor because, well, they changed the way sponsorships were handled, and it became a mess. We would have kept them as a sponsor, and I would have kept promoting them because their product is good. I enjoy it. They're delicious, they're low sugar, and they are tasty versus most protein bars, which are crap. But the fact of the matter is, I can't just have a smoothie in the morning and a protein bar and then not eat until 7 at night. It's like, yeah. I came home, what was it? Last Wednesday. I had not eaten enough food that my brain wasn't working properly. It was like, I couldn't remember the names of the podcast I was going to be on that night. So it was like, and in case those were wondering, it was anime anticlimax, which we're doing Bakano this month, which is my choice. We're scheduled at the end of the month. What? Let me see what day that would be. The 31st. So we're scheduled to do it on the 31st. That may change. Depends on the group. I know I personally am only 4 episodes in, but it's one of those shows I can sit down and just keep playing for a little while. So I'm not too worried about my placement in Bakano. But I still need to get a lot more watched. But I mean, that's a commitment I make, and just like I'm making a commitment with comics, to be a better artist. When I started doing comics, they were crap. They were absolute crap. But the way I improved is I made myself work to become better, and I got to do that with exercising. And the reason I'm so hard on myself is I did it before. I came out in 2007 to my family and my friends. Only my close friends knew about it, and my family, until about 2010. But I came out to them in 2007 that I was trans, and I started exercising. I started walking 4 miles a day, every day. No excuses. Didn't matter if it was raining or whatnot. The downfall of that was I discovered a bakery I really liked. About a mile into that 4-mile walk. And they had something called the Double Down. The Double Down was like a s'more meets a brownie. It was a giant marshmallow on a brownie melted in chocolate. And damn, it was good. And it basically destroyed everything I worked on. I went from 240 at the time to 200. So I dropped 40 pounds at the time. Right now I am at 260. So I need to lose weight, and I need to work on that. That is one of my things, because my goal since I came out has always been to get back to 180, which is my high school weight. Simply because it makes me skinnier and I fit dresses a lot better. When I'm 180 and not 260, 80 pounds over that weight. So, yeah, I'm dieting. I'm using my Apple Watch to kind of keep track of my walking, and trying to do walking more each day. So, that's my way of improving myself each day. But there are other ways I work. I mean, it's charity, it's doing notable things, and, you know, And here's a good one. If you don't want to help out the victims from Trump rally that got hurt and or killed, um, CDOG VA is going to be doing a charity for uh, the immune deficiency group, I believe is what they're called. Give to them because they're literally out there helping fighting disease, and you might win a prize. And one of those prizes is a freaking car. Okay? So go on, vote for. I mean, there's a lot of anime. Well, I mean, just YouTubers in general. There's a lot of YouTubers contributing to that donation pile. They've got a lot of nice prizes. Go out and donate to that. If you can't donate, contribute in some way. Figure a way that you can contribute help to others. It's the small things that make us all a little bit better as people. And again, goes into what we say at the end of each stream. To be the better you that you can be. If that just means, hey, I woke up and I didn't yell at the asshole that cut me off today and on the way to work. That's fine. That's fine. That's a step in improvement. And as we go into an election season, that is very, very agitated as is. Remember that. You may have somebody you completely hate, and it may be Trump. But if you can take that moment and be like, are they really doing these things? And I mean, you gotta take a step back. You can't be like, and the power of the moment, like, they did this. It's like, no. Take a step back. Calm down. Are they really doing anything bad to you? The answer more than likely is no. But we like to be very black and white and hatred filled of ourselves. And that's the problem we've been running into. I've reached past the time I kind of want to end here. So we went half an hour long, but we're going to end it tonight at this point. As I said, tonight, as always, go out there and be the best you that you can be. As I just explained how it's going to be done. Just do the smallest thing possible if you have to. Or do the biggest thing you can do to make a better world of you. It doesn't even have to be to somebody you don't know. It can be like your parents, your brother, your sister, the person across the hall from you that you don't like. I mean, just be a better person by trying not to hurt yourself or hurt others. So, after a long, dark, and traumatic stream, I promise next week we're going to cover a much lighter subject. I am going to hunt for something funny or something light, and it'll be an enjoyment subject. We'll probably be doing more witching pages because I really need to do witching pages. But I promise both comics will be back on, let's see, I've got the calendar open. It'll be back on the 27th. So on the 27th, 28th, because we drop on Sunday. On the 28th, Demon Blade and Witchin will be back. So at the end of July, we will return both comics to DeviantArt, Kappa's Webtoons. We are slowly getting to the Homecoming arc actual meet in Demon Blade. And Witchin, we're slowly getting to the Wansdales. So, yeah. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon. I've not been pitching it, but let's pitch it. DemonBlade.com or Patreon. Patreon! Patreon! Don't go to DemonBlade.com because I don't own that one. I own DemonBladeComic.com. That's the one I own. Yeah. Patreon / Demon Blade is our Patreon support. You can support us from $1. $5 supporters are supposed to get comics. I know I'm way behind on that crap. I've been having some people that really want MPW, Magical Princess War, back. I can probably push that out faster than I can some of the other stuff, but I have other stuff before it that has to go. And you can buy my books on Amazon. You can buy Demon Blade on Amazon. You can't buy Witchin on Amazon because it's not in book format. But Demon Blade is available on Amazon. Book 1, the full first 6 chapters, available both in paperback and on digital. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful week, and a wonderful year. Good night, everybody.
Lights go down streams and thanks for time we spent. Laughs and smiles all through night. With you, it feels just right. Signing off. Don't forget like, comment, song. Signing off. Ring the bell and show some out. Good vibes, shared a fun ride. With you, I'm filled with pride.